March 2nd, 1969. Toulouse, France. A white Delta-winged aircraft lifts off for the first time. It reaches 400 knots without afterburners. The Concorde 001 is airborne. This was the dream of two nations, Britain and France. Working together against the American aerospace industry, the plane was designed to do one thing: fly faster than a rifle bullet. At Mach 2.04, it could cross the Atlantic in under 3.5 hours. Passengers would watch the sky turn dark blue at 60,000 feet. The curvature of the Earth became visible through the small oval windows. This was not a plane. This was a promise. The promise was that the future belonged to speed. In 1976, the Concorde entered commercial service. Only 14 aircraft ever entered regular passenger use. The fleet was small by design. Each plane cost £23 million to build, a staggering sum for the era. British Airways and Air France operated the only active routes. The most famous was London to New York. The flight was always the same: takeoff, acceleration, the boom, and then the quiet at altitude. A passenger could drink champagne while flying faster than the sun's apparent motion. The interior was narrow, the seats tight, the price immense. A round-trip ticket cost the equivalent of $12,000 today. The passengers were royalty, rock stars, and CEOs. They were the people who believed time was money. But the economics never worked. The Concorde burned fuel at an extraordinary rate. It carried only 100 passengers compared to the jumbo jets that carried 300. The noise was unbearable at takeoff. Communities under the flight path protested for decades. The sonic boom was banned over land, limiting routes to transoceanic corridors. The plane was a technological masterpiece and a financial disaster. The French and British governments subsidized every flight. By the 1990s, the fleet was aging and the airlines were losing patience. The plane had never been profitable in its entire history, yet it remained a symbol of European engineering ambition. It was beautiful, dangerous, and obsolete. Then came July 25th, 2000. Charles de Gaulle Airport, Paris. Air France Flight 4590 was preparing for departure to New York. A metal strip from a previous aircraft lay on the runway. The Concorde's tire ran over it, the tire burst, and threw debris into the wing fuel tank. A massive fire erupted. The plane crashed into a hotel in Gonesse, France. All 109 people on board died. 4 people on the ground were also killed. This was the only fatal crash in the Concorde's 27 years of service, but it was enough. The entire fleet was grounded. Modifications were made, the fuel tanks were reinforced, and the planes returned to the air in 2001. But the world had changed. The September 11th attacks had devastated air travel. The public had lost faith in speed. The airlines had lost faith in profit. The final flight took place on November 26, 2003. The plane was G-Boff, the last Concorde ever built. It flew from Heathrow to Filton, a short journey over the English countryside. It landed for the last time at 4:01 p.m. The supersonic era was over. The plane now sits in a museum. Visitors can walk inside the narrow cabin and see the tiny windows. They can touch the seats where the rich once sat. They can press their faces against the glass and imagine the sky turning dark, but no one will ever hear that boom again. No one will ever cross the ocean in under 4 hours. The Concorde was a miracle of engineering built for a world that no longer exists. The future arrived. Then the future left. The plane remains.